Guys, welcome to SavvyMoneyShow's Walk and Talk. I want to say Happy Easter to all of you out there who celebrate it, and I'm going to tell you about some companies that I'll be looking at, and there'll be one that I'll definitely be buying, but I wanted to give you a heads up before I do. BP. Now, I bought this before when oil went negative, and you can see how it was at 240 when I picked it up. Now, normally what I would do is pull out my initial investment. It still gives a good dividend, and it's PE of 7, and you see the market cap is 83 billion versus 111 billion. Price to sales 0.5, price to book 1.5, and they keep growing. They keep expanding. So I would look into possibly adding to it. We have Kraft Heinz, it's KHC. Now, what was it about this? I was looking at this a couple of years ago as a declining business. They have a PE ratio of 16, 4.38% dividend, mostly owned by pension funds and old farts, but like myself, but I don't own it. It's a difference. Its market cap is 44 billion versus 63 billion. Trailing PE of 16, forward PE 12. The thing I like about this is not just that the price to book is 0.91 and the price to sales is 1.7. The thing I like is that they've been paying down debt. Rather than jumping on with buyback shares, they've been using the money to buy back debt. Now we have Giga Cloud Technology. I bought this when it was last year, when it was 5.35. Has a PE ratio of 15, and when it hit the 30s, I sold out just because I made so much on it, and I just couldn't see it continuing its run. I mean, of course, there's always a chance it can continue its run, but I kept a tiny position, and I'm thinking of adding to it again. I like the company, which is why I went in it in the first place. I like the growth, and I like the fundamentals. For a company in this sector to have fundamentals like this, I think it's really interesting. Another one is Dark Trace. Now, this is one where I'm in turmoil, because usually I would pull out my funds right now because we've made so much money on it, but it's just a company with no debt, and we have a company in cyber security right now that has no debt and has a better margin than Palo Alto, and at the same time is growing better clip, in my opinion, which it should do because it's a smaller company. But then I'm wondering whether to hold on to it or sell my initial investment. I'd like to know your thoughts. Let me know in the comments down below. Hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't. Another one is hunting. Has a 545 million market cap against a 571 million enterprise value. P of 6, forward P of 11. Price to sales 0.75, price to book 0.72. And the net asset value is over £4 a share. So the thing is, it's never hit its net asset value in the last year at the moment, and it's been on an uptrend. So in my opinion, it's undervalued. If I get it, I may keep a tight watch on it, because it could easily come back down, but I would like to see it well, not a little bit cheaper, but I would have liked to have got in a little bit cheaper. I got in earlier in the year. I got in last year, and then I sold out of it. So I sold out a bit early. Apologise for background noise, I am outside. And of course my old friend Legal in General. As I said before, I sold out most of my position when it went up, and it came back down again, and I bought back in. And I do not want to sell out again. I want to add to it at this point. People telling me the P ratio is worse. Dividend is still the same. But if you look here, the forward P is still good. The price to sales is still good at 0.44. And this is a company that is usually spot on at predicting how well it's going to do. It will have one or two blips here and there, but insurance companies are usually very good. They spend a lot of money on their prediction models, and I think Legal in General is one of the ones to watch. I've done quite a few videos on them and other insurers. Phoenix, yeah, has a lot of money at the moment and may pay a special dividend, but I think I don't like the business long term. I think it could end up in a downtrend. And Taylor Wimpey, of course, we mentioned it before, and then it ran up, and we got the dividend, came back down again. So what is there to say? It's a house builder. It's one of the main house builders that made a lot of money during COVID, where they bought up a lot of cheap land when people thought the world was going to end. Unity. I apologise for the background noise, I am outside. Now, we all know what Unity does. I've done loads of videos on them before, and you know what I say. If it gets above $40, I start looking at trimming, and if it gets around $22, I look at buying, and it's getting close to that. And now we have Procore. Next one, as you can see here from my Discord, is for Procore, the software for construction. I'll be picking up next week. It's up 18%, but it's made 38% in 2020 during a construction shutdown, and made 32% last year. The market cap is 12.2 billion. It's 700 million in cash, no debt. It's 12 times the revenue, and free cash flow is 47 million. So although the valuation doesn't appear too good, I do think it's a good company. You could be exposed in a downturn, but it's shown in past downturns that customers do stay with them. A lot of construction hasn't embraced digital age as of yet, but we've seen what's happened with farming AI, such as John Deere stocks. I like that Procore Pay, which is a digital payment method. If Procore grows 22% a year with a 25% margin, it will produce 640 million of net income in 5 years. A 40x multiple brings valuations to 25 billion, bringing an annualized return of 14.4%, and these are on the low ends of Procore's estimates, and that's why I'm thinking of picking it up in the next week. I wanted to give you guys a heads up. We get flack for, because I've been giving buyers flack for it over the past few years. It's Teledocs. Now, well, I didn't really give them flack. I just said I wasn't buying. You can see the fact that it's 2.5 billion market cap, and when you consider how much it's acquired with previous companies at a premium for, it's kind of laughable. It's one that Cathie Wood was determined to hold and buy more at higher prices. She was certain that this would do something until she was certain it wouldn't. Price to sales of 0.95, price to book of 1.08. It's now in that territory, and it's where it's been growing. It's been steadily growing, its revenues, and it's been steadily growing. Whenever I have private medical insurance, we also have a national health service, and I've seen more and more private medical insurance and even national health service used in this type of service. Maybe not Teledocs, but similar service, and I do think this is going to be something going forward. I'm not saying I'm buying it at the moment, I'm saying it's something I'm looking into as a spec stock, and I do think it is worth looking into at the moment because it's a good one. Right now, I just think Cathie got her timing wrong, that's all. So Photronics, PLAB. Now, it has PE of 13, as you see here, and its market cap is above the enterprise value. But I like the price to sales 1.96 and the price to book 1.75. I think it has a lot of growth in it. Remember, this is a spec stock, so do not go chucking a huge amount of your portfolio in it. And one thing I'm watching but not purchasing at the moment is Watches of Switzerland, as again a spec stock. It's got a PE of 8. Now Motley Fool says he would steer clear of it because it's come down so much, but personally I think I knew someone who was very into watches, and every day he'd open the watches of Switzerland to see whether or not there was anything there he wanted to buy. They do not have the added cost of owning or storing anything. They only have the platform, a bit like eBay. And they had a bad quarter, and they had their forecast wasn't great, but they still, sorry about this, I'm outside, so I'm all about the place. But they had a bad quarter, and they had a bad their forecasting wasn't very good, but I don't think it justifies such a big dip, and I don't think it justifies coming down so much. It's getting to a point where I would consider picking it up. If it comes down below 350, I would review it again. Yeah, I'm wondering if I'm able to donate a load of bars of chocolate for your food bank. Thank you. Potatoes for the donation box as well. Thank you. Alright, sorry about that. Now, one that I've spoken about numerous times is Money Supermarket. I said that I was considering buying, but I wanted it lower because I'm a greedy git, and it's got 220. I wanted it at 220, and it's got below that. Now, is that because it's just got next to dividend? Well, who knows? Probably a part of it, but it's now at 17 PE ratio. I do think some of it is because Martin Lewis has become so prevalent on the scene with its campaigns that you will see that some of these comparison sites losing ground to his site, but because they'll sign up for his newsletter and they'll go direct through there. But this still holds a massive amount of potential, a massive amount. Anyway, now they pay a 5% dividend, which is good, but if you look in here, it's 1.18 billion pound company, and because it is a UK company, so if you're considering a UK ISA, I think Dark Trace and Elgin should be in it, but you will see here 91 million in free cash flow, and you will see total liabilities 179 million, current assets 107, total assets 405 million. The current liabilities is 137.8 million, and that worries people because they think they're either going to have to issue shares at a lower price or borrow more money to pay off the current liabilities when rates are high. So these are some of the metrics that hedge funds look into, but I still think long term is worth looking at. Hyundai. If you remember, I marked Ford, and Ford had a little jump up, so we took a couple of percentage profit on that. I kept it in the form of free shares, but if you see here, it has a 3.25 PE ratio, only pays a 2% dividend, but I expect that to grow. It's jumped up since I last spoke about it, but you'll see that it's an established company. There's not much more you can say about that. It's 39.5 billion market cap, 106 billion enterprise value, 0.25 price to sales, 0.44 price to book. What is it I love so much about this company? They're not a flashy company. They're not a company trying to be the best. They're just trying to be. However, the thing I like about them is they do value cars well, and in a cost of living crisis and depression, people will buy more from them because they will get more for less. And if you saw my last video on them, sorry to keep saying and, it could become a drinking club, drinking game. They have announced a UAV, urban air vehicle. They invested in a company I have spun off now, but they hold percentage of, and they was there alongside the company presenting it. One is TRIG, Renewables Infrastructure Group. Whenever it's under 100, I buy, because its net asset value is 127, which gives me a margin of safety, and it has a PE ratio of 4.5. I'll see you in the next video.